The other week I was sorting out my shorts that I've been uploading for the past few weeks now and will continue to do so, but during that first batch I came across the Jedi Survivor boss battle against the KX Droid at the very beginning of the game. Now it is not a big boss fight or anything like that, but when I saw the name of the droid I instantly knew something was up because it has something to do with Star Wars Hunters and I honestly could not believe it. But before I do get into all of that, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the notification bell turned on to never miss a piece of Star Wars Hunters news. So as per the topic of a lot of videos lately, at some point in the future of Star Wars Hunters, we will be receiving a KX Droid Hunter that will potentially have an electro baton and a shield, and it will very likely be a tank hunter. Now the name of this hunter was found in leaks back in January, and using Aurebesh to decode the graffiti, we as a community came to the conclusion that the name of the KX Droid was KAW5. Now whilst that is still very much a possibility, about a month ago or so I re-evaluated that and now I actually think the name is KA05, as that would then technically spell the word chaos, just with a K and not a CH. Now the name chaos to me just makes way more sense than KAW5, because it just sounds cooler, and for a live sport name that's actually quite good, and since we have J3DI as well which spells Jedi, the name then follows that naming convention, so I am very much in the camp of it being chaos and not KAW5. Now that is basically everything we know thus far about this KX Droid at the moment, but when I was looking at the Jedi Survivor footage I noticed that the very first boss in the game is a KX Droid, which I mentioned earlier in the video, and that droid's name is actually K405, which is either intentional or a huge coincidence, and one that Lucasfilm clearly didn't take any notice of.
Wait a minute, how did this happen? We're smarter than this.
Now I know the names aren't exactly the same as one another, as one has an A and one is a 4, but the letter A is often swapped out for a 4 in all kinds of life, as I'm sure you are aware. So both the KX Droid in Jedi Survivor and the one coming to Hunters basically have the exact same name, it's just a 4 and an O in Survivor instead of an A and a 0 in Star Wars Hunters. Now from my perspective it's actually quite a funny thing to have seen happen, as I can't think of this happening any other time in Star Wars before, but that is absolutely not to say it hasn't. But from a developer's perspective it probably could actually be quite an annoying thing, given that Lucasfilm should probably have picked up on this. But like I said, the names aren't exactly the same so it doesn't really matter that much, but like I said, from a developer's perspective it might be a bit annoying. With that being said though, Star Wars Hunters is obviously a canon game with all of the characters having their own backstories and all the rest of it, so this could actually work in their favour. With most of the Hunters in the game we still don't actually really know too much about their backstories yet, but I'm hoping in the future that will all be revealed in the form of trailers or even books and comics like we did for Reeve in the novel earlier this year, and Amara Vex of course appearing in some of the comics. With regards to the KX Droid though, we absolutely know nothing about it at the moment, so I honestly think this would be the perfect opportunity to take this droid from Jedi Survivor, so K405 that was ultimately defeated by Cal Kestis and Vo Lacuna in 9BBY on Coruscant, and then make up some kind of story about someone finding the remnants of this droid, putting it back together and reprogramming it to enter into the arena many years later. Hunters, for those of you who don't know, is set around the time of The Mandalorian, so about 9 ABY, so with about 18 to 19 years or so since the droid was defeated by Cal Kestis, it could have done a great many things and have been heavily modified, but I just think there's something seriously cool about the thought of a KX Droid being in Jedi Survivor and then appearing once again years later in Star Wars Hunters. There's already quite a few cosmetics in Hunters that relate to Jedi Fallen Order stuff, and I'm hoping there will be plenty more of that, and I really do think this would be a really great way to carry on doing so. I honestly don't think it will happen though, but like I said, I would absolutely love to see that, as it even impacts Jedi Survivor in a way, as it inadvertently gives this droid a future with a ton of depth, because when you're playing the game at the moment it's just some random KX droid that you don't care about, but if this story was to happen you could then fight this droid in the playthrough and be like, oh, I'd play as you in Star Wars Hunters or something like that. There's just a bit of a connection there which I just think is really cool. But like I said, it probably won't happen, and we will obviously find out its story eventually, which I am definitely keen to learn about regardless of what it is. So guys, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Do you think this is just a mistake from Lucasfilm to not catch these names being so similar, or do you think this could have been done on purpose? Let me know in the comments and subscribe to the channel for more Star Wars gaming content. That is it from me today though. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the Force be with you always.